Breaking news, explosive new evidence from the Epstein Files directly implicates Prince Andrew. Documents reveal shocking details of his involvement.
Every time there is a photo or one of these emails, it just it's quite an informal position from Prince Andrew.
What were Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein really doing behind closed doors? Why did the royal continue meeting with a convicted sex offender even after his release from prison? And what do the newly released photos actually show? The Department of Justice just released over 3 million pages of documents, and what they reveal about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is more disturbing than anyone anticipated. According to the BBC report, these files include more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images that are now shaking the foundations of the British monarchy. Before we dive into the shocking details, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We're pushing toward 10,000 subscribers, and your support means everything. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss any updates on this developing story. Section 1. The Document Dump. On January 31st, 2026, the Trump administration released what they're calling the final batch of Epstein-related materials. As reported by BBC correspondent John Sudworth, this massive disclosure came in compliance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which President Trump signed into law on November 19, 2025. But here's what makes this release unprecedented. The files came from multiple sources, including the Florida and New York cases against Epstein, the New York case against Ghislaine Maxwell, investigations into Epstein's death, and multiple FBI investigations. Among the 180,000 images released, according to John Sudworth's report, are pictures showing Andrew Mountbatten Windsor kneeling over and touching a female whose identity has been hidden. There's no context, location, or date provided with these photographs. The images show the former prince crouched on all fours over a woman, lying flat on her back on a striped carpet. As described in the detailed report, her face is redacted, her arms are spread, and Andrew is staring directly into the camera. In another photo, the barefoot 65-year-old is seen touching the woman's stomach, wearing a white polo shirt and jeans. But the photos are just the beginning. Wait until you hear what the emails reveal about Andrew's relationship with Epstein after his conviction. The timing will shock you. If you're finding this information valuable, smash that subscribe button. Let's hit 10K together. Section 2. The Email Evidence. According to the BBC's reporting, this latest batch of files contains email exchanges from 2010, and this is crucial long after Jeffrey Epstein had been convicted of sexual offenses involving children. Here's what the emails show. Epstein was suggesting that Andrew meet with a 26-year-old Russian woman in London who he might enjoy having dinner with. Andrew replied that he would be delighted to see her and added, "Will she be bringing a message from you? Please give her my contact details to get in touch." Epstein wrote back describing her. "She's 26, Russian, clever, and beautiful, and yes, she has your email." But it gets worse. The files show that Andrew invited Epstein to Buckingham Palace in 2010, according to the BBC report. This was just 2 months after Epstein had been released from house arrest for procuring an underage girl for prostitution. One email sent from an account labeled "The Duke offered Epstein dinner at the palace and promised," according to the detailed report, lots of privacy. In another email exchange, Andrew asked Epstein if he was glad to be free, signing off as HRH Prince Andrew KG. Epstein replied, "Great to be free of many things." Section 3. The Royal Fallout. The impact on the British monarchy has been devastating. According to the Times and Sunday Times Washington editor Katie Giles, Andrew is a recurring character in really every release of the Epstein Files. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has now publicly stated that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor should testify before the U.S. Congress about his links to the deceased child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Royal commentator and author Andrew Loney gave a damning assessment in his interview. "I think this is really the nail in their coffin for Andrew and Sarah Ferguson." He added that if there's a sense that Andrew continues to be enabled and protected by the royal family, this is going to cause some big pro. Loney revealed something particularly troubling. The FBI passed information to the Metropolitan Police several years ago that wasn't followed up, and the royal family knew about many of these allegations some time ago and did nothing. They only react once the story goes public. And the royal family isn't the only powerful institution implicated. Stay with me, because what the files reveal about other world leaders will leave you speechless. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. We're uncovering new details daily. Section 4. Other powerful figures. The files also contain revelations about Peter Mandelson, who, according to John Sudworth's BBC report, lost his job as British ambassador to Washington last year after it became clear his friendship with Epstein had been deeper than previously known. The documents include the claim that Epstein sent Lord Mandelson's then partner, now husband, Ronaldo Avila da Silva, £10,000 to cover the cost of an osteopathy course. Lord Mandelson has described his friendship with Epstein as a most terrible mistake and says he wasn't aware of Epstein's crimes. The documents also include email correspondence between tech billionaire Elon Musk and Epstein. According to the BBC report, the emails show that Musk discussed traveling to Epstein's island on more than one occasion, including a 2012 trip where he asked Epstein, "What day/night will be the wildest party on your island?" Writing on X, Musk stated, "No one pushed harder than me to have the Epstein Files released, and I'm glad that has finally happened. I had very little correspondence with Epstein and declined repeated invitations to go to his island or fly on his Lolita Express." Section 5. The victim's outrage. But perhaps the most disturbing aspect of this release is what happened to the victims themselves. Prominent civil rights attorney Gloria Allred, who represents many of Epstein's victims, gave a devastating reaction. According to her statement reported by the BBC, some of them are completely devastated by the fact that the Attorney General, the Department of Justice, was supposed to and indicated that they were redacting victims' names, the survivors' names. And yet today, with the release of these more than 3 million files, many of the names of my clients who have been Jane Doe for many, many years were in fact published. Allred continued, "This is devastating. To them, they had little or no trust in the government. Now they have no trust in the government because the government has not earned that trust." She called the Assistant Attorney General Todd Blance's hope that the release would bring closure to victims ridiculous because they have devastated so many of these survivors by publicly releasing their names. Allred concluded with a chilling assessment. At best, it was a sloppy job. At worst, it smacks of a cover-up. So what does this all mean? And will Andrew ever face justice? The answers might surprise you. If this investigation has opened your eyes, subscribe now. Let's grow this community to 10,000 strong. Section 6. Will there be justice? According to royal commentator Andrew Loney, when asked if Starmer's suggestion that Andrew should testify in the U.S. would take pressure off, he stated, "Starmer has done this in the past and he's been totally ignored. I don't think Andrew is going to give evidence. It would only further incriminate him. He's refused consistently over the many years to talk to anyone or to answer any of the allegations." Loney added, "I think the only way that he can be held to account is if he is investigated and charged. But there's a major problem." John Sudworth reported that while they were told last year there were a potential 6 million documents being looked at, they've now finished with a release of 3.5 million of them. That means somewhere around 2.5 million documents haven't been released. According to Sudworth, for the Justice Department, they will say that's because they're irrelevant or legally confidential or need to be redacted to protect victims. For those who see conspiracy in any of this, they will say they're being withheld precisely for that reason, to continue the cover-up. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche stated in his press conference that there is no evidence of co-conspirators in these files, and if there was, they would be prosecuting those individuals. The release of these 3 million pages, 2,000 videos, and 180,000 images has reignited one of the most disturbing scandals in modern history. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has yet to respond to these latest revelations, but according to John Sudworth, he has always strenuously denied any wrongdoing. As Katie Giles from The Times noted, every time there is a photo or email, it just raises more questions as to how much time they really spent with him, how intimate or relaxed their friendship must have been. For the victims, as survivors have stated, this is not over. The question remains, will we ever get the full truth? Will powerful figures be held accountable? Or will this be yet another case where wealth and influence shield the guilty from justice? Subscribe to this channel to stay updated as this story continues to unfold. Hit that like button if you believe in accountability, and share this video to spread awareness. Together, we can demand the truth. Let's reach 10,000 subscribers and keep fighting for justice.